Hi everybody, hi Tamar. So we're talking about Littlefinger in Game of Thrones Season 6. So, Littlefinger, Game of Thrones Season 6.
Yes.
Littlefinger basically triggered the events of the story. Without Littlefinger, there is no story,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm. He's like the puppet master that moves the puppets without us seeing him.
Right.
He has a conspiratorial mind, but he's more like an arsonist. He thrives on chaos.
And he may be the best player at this Game of Thrones. Boom, trademark.
He's like the cynical, ruthless, Frank Underwood, Machiavelli type of politician. Or player. Type of player. The most distinct thing about the Machiavellian idea is that you don't need to be virtuous, but to be perceived as virtuous.
Because this gives you political capital.
You need to get your hands dirty in this game.
Okay.
You cannot be virtuous.
Unlike Ned Stark.
Unlike Ned Stark. So his tactic or strategy is to be perceived not as virtuous, but as weak. But someone who plays... Without ambition, that plays the role of a upstart for minor house that is dependent on
that wants to
the crumbs.
Suck the teeth of the power.
Exactly. He depends on the crumbs that the higher lords will leave for him.
Right. The trickle-down theory.
Yeah, exactly. That will be Harrenhal. No one wants Harrenhal. I will take Harrenhal. Stuff like that. No one wants to marry Lysa. I will marry. I will do it for you.
Right.
But all of the other players have a blind spot towards Littlefinger, except Varys and Tyrion.
And now maybe Sansa.
That they are very precise and they are very perceptive.
Right.
And they were on to him from the start.
Because it doesn't show his hand to the real players, and they are the establishment, right? And they play the game with the rules that, as you said, are set on the table.
Yeah.
But he plays a whole other game. He has a whole different thinking. He sees through the establishment and through the current political system.
And thinking outside the box.
So they're into this trickle-down theory, but he wants a political revolution. Cersei thinks he's humble
and weak.
And Kevin also in the books, he says that Littlefinger is good with money, and that's it.
All the dealings of Cersei with him is like he's a pawn, but she's being played.
So he killed the king. Basically, this weak guy, unassuming guy, is partly responsible for killing the king and hiding his would-be assassin, his supposed assassin. There's this scene in season 5 when he meets Cersei, and Cersei doesn't understand who she's talking to. She thinks she's talking to a small lord who just wants to be loyal, but she's talking to a mastermind who's way better than her in playing the game, and he got from her what he wanted, which is a royal decree that he will be the warden of the North. But we'll talk more about it in the bold prediction. Stay tuned. Okay, so let's talk about his psyche.
He's a capitalist.
A capitalist?
A capitalist. I mean that in a way that he wants to win.
And he wants to win
everything.
Everything he wants to win.
I just want to win.
I just want to win.
He's a capitalist in a sense that greed is good. Like greed, this impulse to get everything.
Everything
is something that drives you, and because it drives you, and then it will trickle down to everybody.
And he's never satisfied.
No.
He won't be satisfied with being warden of the North. He wants it all. It's like, I don't know, Mark Zuckerberg. He has $50 billion. That's not enough.
Yeah, it's not about money. It's not about the money. It's about the competition.
He's a merchant at heart. He wants to move up. He's for social mobility. That's like a merchant mindset.
He's a radical with anarchist even. One of the forces that drive him is this painful memory that he had when he wanted Catelyn Stark, Catelyn Tully, but then Brandon Stark, the oldest guy, is like waved him off.
So basically this painful memory created this disdain to the rules of the game. He thinks to himself, okay, I love her, she loves me, supposedly, so we should marry. But no, there are rules and regulations and whatever, and you cannot marry because you're from a lower house and blah, 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 blah. So he's not only motivated by a thirst for power, but also by this painful event that created a lot of hate inside him for the hatred for the noble class,
For the elite.
for the elite. So he wants to kill them all. Basically, the most important thing he's done has happened before the story began, when he conspired with Lysa to have Jon Arryn killed. So his role in the story is probably to
be the match that is thrown to this gunpowder keg.
and to decimate the noble class.
Decimate, decimate, or in Hebrew I have a saying, סובב את כולם על האצבע הקטנה.
Okay, what does that mean? I don't know
It
Hebrew.
means literally it means to juggle everyone with your small finger. To play them. That he plays everyone using easily using his small finger.
Right.
His little finger.
Okay, so let's go to this video's bold prediction. What do you see happening from Littlefinger during this season? Remember, he got this royal decree. He's supposed to be the Warden of the North after he gets rid of the Boltons. But Sansa, he gave away Sansa to the Bolton, and now Sansa is on the run. How far will he go this season?
So we will gather the Vale's army,
Right.
which he already promised to Cersei.
And if he promised, he's going to do it.
Yeah, he's a man of his word. We all know that.
He's supposed to go to Winterfell with this army and claim Winterfell and then become Warden of the North. And Sansa doesn't have to be alive for this plan. He got this royal decree not because of Sansa. Like, he rules the Vale because of Sweet Robin, but he will rule Winterfell because of a royal decree.
I don't see Littlefinger appearing in too much scenes in this new season. But I see him like in a Deus Ex Machina moment, saving Sansa with his army from the Vale, defeating the Boltons or whatever, but then discovering that Sansa is not the little bird that he left behind, but something else.
So he will get what he wants, he will be Warden of the North, but once he gets it, things will be different. It won't be as he imagined it. Because we know he has a blind spot for about Sansa. He has a soft spot for Sansa.
Maybe, but now that I think about it, maybe we will criticize the showrunners for making Littlefinger like stupid in the sense that he's giving Sansa his most precious card to a madman. But maybe it's all part of his calculations. Maybe he's expecting Sansa to be humiliated and raped.
And dead.
And dead even, in order that he come as a savior.
That way he won't have competition from the Starks.
Exactly.
He needs the world to be rid of Starks. So basically, the way I see it, there will be a war between the Boltons and the Wildlings. That's pretty much confirmed. And then he will come over like Stannis did with the Wildlings, like north of the Wall, right? He will beat everybody. He will get into Winterfell as a victor, but then he will realize that things have changed because Sansa will be smarter now and will have more allies. So maybe Littlefinger has already peaked.
I sure hope so, Gil.
So if you have a different idea about Littlefinger in Season 6, be sure to mention in the comments. And please go to the description. There's a link there to our Patreon page. We use Patreon to make our channel sustainable. Through the season, we'll post a lot of content during the season, and we have a lot of really good content only for patrons. So check out our Patreon page below if you enjoy our channel, and we'll see you all next time. Bye everybody!